In this video, I'm going to discuss how to use Zoom as a parent or a student. If with the world we're in today and what's going on, by now you know that most education is actually moving to an online platform, which means that you're going to be doing a lot more video chats with teachers and staff, video chats with other businesses. Doesn't matter what area you work in, everybody's moving to video to keep the social distancing going on. So today we're going to talk about that, how we use Zoom as a parent or a student or just a person who wants to use Zoom. How do we join a session? There's thousands of videos out there on how to set up a Zoom session for free and how to connect to people. There's not many videos on how to actually access it from the other side. If you're just a participant and you're not the presenter, there's not a lot of videos out there that show you what to do. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to assume that you know nothing about Zoom. I'm going to assume that you're not really tech savvy with a computer or with a phone, and that you really don't understand what's going on. I don't want to make any assumptions on this video. That way, if you don't know how to do it, hopefully by the end you'll feel comfortable knowing how to get on, how to interact with your instructors or whoever you may be dealing with, and you'll be happy using it. So first things first, what is Zoom? Zoom is a video conferencing system. So this is a system that's going to allow you to see each other face to face and talk. If you've used FaceTime or Android's got one called Google Duo, you've done that. It's video chat, so it's like a phone call with video. Zoom is a very, very popular platform. If you've never heard about it before, you've probably heard about it now. With everything that's going on, Zoom is the one that's kind of exploded, which is good for Zoom, and it's really, really nice, handy feature to use. So how do we use it? Well, let me show you. First, let's start off by saying that this video is for someone who's going to be a participant, which means someone else is setting up your Zoom. So in our case, I work for a school system. I work for Bern Union Schools, and I say that because some people watching this video, so going to be on public YouTube, won't they won't really know who I am. If you go to Bern Union, if you're a student or a parent, you already know pretty much who I am. If you don't, I'm the tech coordinator. But this video is really designed for our students, but anybody can watch it. So someone else, in this case your teachers, will be setting up Zoom meetings. What you need to do is go on and access those, and I'm going to show you how right now. So we're going to do this in 3 separate parts. We're going to do a video, or our first section is actually going to cover the smartphone, because that's how I assume most of you will interact with this. The Chromebook, because we are one-to-one with Chromebooks. I want you to be able to see how to do it. And finally, the computer. So we're going to cover all 3. Now I'm going to go into detail on each one of them, on how to access it, and then maybe some different features inside of it. You're going to find that it's all pretty familiar. Once you learn one, they all pretty much work the same. So but I'll cover any differences that we see in the presentation as we go. So here we go. Let's first start by going to our phone. So on our phone, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to our default mail app. Now you may need to go to, you might have mail set up, or you might have to actually go to a web browser. If you have an Android phone, you might have Gmail set up. Whatever your mail program is, that's what you're going to go into. If you access it through the web, that's fine. You can access it through the web. Now, on this phone, I actually have mine set up through mail. So I'm going to click there, and you'll see that you have a message that says, please join Zoom meeting in progress. Ours is at the very top, so I'm going to click on that. This is the kind of message you're going to get. Now, this should be a private message. Now, you see I've got a meeting ID here, and I've got a password, and I've got a link to the actual meeting. Okay, now these are private. Hopefully the teachers are not sharing these in public. If they are, hopefully they have a meeting room where they can lock out people who aren't supposed to be in there. But for now, this is what you need to know. The big thing to remember here is all you have to do is click on the link. So I'm going to click on the link, and it's going to say this is an invalid address. Okay. So that gave me an error message. Now, by default, you might get this error message that says this is an invalid address. What it's trying to tell you here is you don't have Zoom installed. So at the top of my screen, you'll see View, but down here you'll see Download from the App Store. This might say Google Play Store on yours. So we're going to click that button, and we're going to download and install Zoom just by clicking Get. Now in this case, it's going to ask for our ID. I'm going to go ahead and click Install. Mine's already set up. If yours isn't, go ahead and type in your password and then choose Install. You'll notice the file downloads. I have pretty fast internet, so this shouldn't take very long. Once it downloads, we can go ahead and click Open. Okay, so I'm going to slide over here on my phone, close that out, and we'll slide over and you'll see that Zoom is installed. Now if I just click on Zoom, it's going to ask me to sign up, sign in, or join a meeting. I can click Join a Meeting and type in that meeting ID that I saw in the other email address, or in the email. Okay, so I can type in the link from the email, or I can close that out, go back to my email, and just click on that link again, and you'll notice it automatically does it for me. Okay, so if I click on that link, once I have Zoom installed, it's going to automatically go ahead and log me in the session. Now here's the thing, if you want to save time, go ahead and install Zoom, the Zoom app, right up front, and then this is going to work flawless for you. Okay, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Now it says please enter your name. Now default, it's going to pick up the name off of your phone. Some of you have left it generic, so it just says iPhone. I would go ahead and type in my name, just so the teacher knows who you are. I mean, technically you can put in anything, but remember this is for school, so yeah, let's go ahead and put in our real name, okay? We'll go ahead and hit continue. It's going to ask us if it can have access to our camera. That's because, like I said, this is a video call. So it's a video, think of it as a video call. This is a video chat, so we're going to go ahead and say yes, you can have access to it, and boom. I can actually see myself inside of this video. Okay, now I can click here. You'll notice I get virtual backgrounds, and I can add more. That's not necessarily what you want to do for a class, but hey, if you want to have fun, whatever. So I'm going to hit none on this and say close at the bottom. All right, now I can join the meeting with video or without video. Okay, I can change the settings later, but if I want to be in the session and I want people to be able to see me, I can go ahead and click join video. I hate these videos because I never know which way to cock my head. I mean, I move my head all different directions. Sometimes I get up the nose shot. Not exactly pleasant, but you know, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and say join with video. And do you want Zoom to send you notifications? And do you want to have access to your microphone? You do want to have access to microphone if you want people to hear you. See, it actually says for people to hear you, you need to allow Zoom access. So we're going to say OK here. Do you want to send it notifications? I probably wouldn't. I don't like any notifications. I really don't like notifications when the app is closed. I think the app should be closed. If you want it to do pop-ups, that's fine. It's up to you. I'm going to say don't allow. And then to hear others, please join audio. So we can call using internet audio, which is what so the first time. So the reason that happened was because I had my computers running the Zoom session, and which you can see in my picture in the middle here. If I turned my computer on the video, you'd notice I'm actually recording twice. So the echo that you heard is because I'm sitting next to my computer. So that's why that happened. So I'm going to stop this video. So this is a video chat. So actually, let me start that again. So you notice I've got my phone up in the upper right hand corner. This is me moving my head. And down in the bottom, you can see how it's a little bit whiter and you get more of a picture. It's because I'm running it off my laptop. Okay, so I'm video calling myself because I like to talk to myself. But I'm showing you this so you know the layout. But if I tap on this screen off the video, you'll notice I get some options that pop up. One's mute, which I did mute myself. There's also one that says stop video. This will stop it so that the presenter can't see me. And you notice my icon goes to just this picture, this avatar of a blank human, I guess. Okay, so I can start the video again. I can appear. I can see the participants, which right now is myself. I'll hit close there. I go to more, and you can see I can do chats. I can change meeting settings. I can raise my hand to ask a question. Raising your hand would be nice if, for instance, if you don't have chat enabled, which most of them will, that works. But raise your hand; they can ask you a question, so you don't interrupt. You don't just say, "Hey, I got a question real quick," in the middle of the session. Okay, so that just lets them know that it actually pops up on our screen and gives your name, whatever name you signed up with, and says they raised their hand. Okay. You can also share content. So you can share your screen, you can share items from your photos, or different drives like Google Drive, online websites, or bookmarks. Okay, so you can share your stuff if that's enabled from the other person. The presenter, which I'm going to do right now, can also share their screen. So if I share my screen and I say, I'm going to do this one, I'll do this share Safari, you actually see what is on my presenting screen. And you can pinch and zoom in and out to zoom those things in and out. Okay? Up at the top, you can leave the session. You've got a volume bar. The speaker here is for muting their audio, not your audio, but their audio. And then you got to flip a camera. So if I'm actually showing people, instead of them seeing my face, I can flip it and they will see whatever I'm pointing my camera at. So you notice in the top right hand section here, above the presentation, I'm still seeing the presenter's face, not my face, which it is my face, but I'm seeing the presenter plus the document, okay? But when I click that flip button, the person hosting is actually seeing what's on the back side of my camera, so I can point my camera at something in my house. So maybe if I'm having a problem on my Chromebook, or I want to show the teacher what's inside my refrigerator, they can actually do that. Okay, so that's what that button does. That's pretty much it. You can actually click on this pen tool. This is the other thing I didn't show you. If I tap on the screen and I click on this pen tool, you'll notice that you got some options here, and this is so you can annotate. Now, the presenter will see the annotations you do. So if you're doing like a smiley face, the presenter is going to see the smiley face. You can actually do the eraser, and we can actually go in and just strike through this stuff to erase it. So you just strike through it, and that erases whatever it goes through. Okay, that's it from the phone side. When you're done with the presentation, you just click leave. If I can actually tap it, you would click leave. Do you want to leave meeting? Yes. And the presentation ends. Okay, that's it. That's all there is to the phone side. All right, so now let's move on to the Chromebook side. So here we are at the Chromebook. I'm using my phone to actually record this, so please bear with me if this bounces a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down to the bottom and open our mail app. Now in my case, it's already set up for Gmail, but if it's not set up for you, that's fine. It's perfectly fine. Go to whatever browser you want. You want to find that same message that we had before. So where it says, please join the meeting, we'll go ahead and click on that. And just like we did on the phone, we're just going to select the link. Now, on the Chromebook, it's going to ask us if it's not already installed to install Zoom from the Chrome Web Store. So we're going to go ahead and click on it and then say add to Chrome. Okay, it's going to ask us to approve some permissions, so we'll just say add app. It's going to give you a status over here. Now it's going to say launch app. We don't want to necessarily launch app, although in this case, it absolutely already put our information in here for us. If it doesn't, you can just go back to your email and click on that link again. So again, we'll put in our name. This time I'm just going to do my first name. And then I'm going to say, don't connect to audio. I want it to hear me. And then turn off my video. We've already discussed video, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. But if you wanted your webcam to actually show you, you go ahead and leave that on. So I want to say join. And here we are. So we've got up here, you can see the two people. You can see me, this is the Chromebook, and you can see this is my hosting session, and you can see me actually holding the camera over here. You can see it's muted. And you see at the bottom of the screen here, it looks just like the other one. We have a mute button, so I can mute myself. A start video, so if you really want to see me recording this session, you can click start video. You can invite people to the session, which I wouldn't do as a participant. You can see who is participating. You've got a share button. Again, this shares your screen. A chat button, so you can actually click over here and type messages. And people can come over there and read it. It tells you who sent it. I'm going to click that again to get rid of it. And you have the leave meeting option. Okay, you can make the presentation full screen by clicking on that. You can click exit full screen to get back out. Okay, and then you've got the leave meeting option down at the bottom, which I will do. So that's basically it. You see, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because it works the exact same way as the phone. If you have your phone set up, you're good to go. So you can go ahead and click leave meeting, and it's going to ask you to leave the meeting. So that's it for the Chromebook. Again, you just have to install the app and you join. Fairly simple. So I'm going to take you over now to a laptop and show you how to join a session inside of a laptop. So bear with me and we'll get that video started in just a second. All right, here we are on our computer. Now in this case, my computer is a Mac. Yours may be a Windows computer. That doesn't matter. They both function about the same way. Now your layout's going to be slightly different than mine. I have a lot of applications down here in the dock. Yours would be under a start menu down in the corner. But how we navigate through this is the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose our mail program. So mine is actually mail. But just to show you the difference, if I could go here, but I could also go to a website. So I'm going to click on a web browser. So in this case, I'm using Safari. Yours might be Microsoft Edge, Internet Explorer, Chrome. You'll notice I got Chrome down here, or Firefox, or any other browser. And you're going to go to your website, your email page. So in this case, mine's Gmail. And you'll notice I have a link here to join a web meeting. Now you notice these names have changed, and that's because I've actually loaded this from another computer, okay, so that I could show you everything. So there is actually two emails. If I jump back, you'll actually see the old email down here, and then you'll see some other messages. But I'm going to just click here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing I've done on every device. I'm going to click on the link. Once I click on the link, it's going to prompt me to download and run Zoom. Okay, now I did have Zoom installed on this computer, but I don't have it. So this is just going to spin and spin. So let's speed this up and just say download and run. So it's going to say, can I download files? Sure, allow it. Now you may or may not receive a pop-up window depending on what version of Windows you're running, but the point is that we're just downloading this program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my downloads folder. In this case, it's here. In your case, you might have a link right at the bottom where it says it's downloaded, or you'll go into your hard drive icon and then go to downloads. We're just going to run this installer, and I'm going to walk you through it so you can see what it looks like. It's going to say continue. Install for who? Everyone. Leave everything default. So you notice I'm not changing anything. Now on Windows and on Mac, you'll probably be prompted for your password. Windows might not. Again, it depends on what version you're running. But I'm going to go ahead and say, put in my password and just say install the software. You'll notice once it's done, it'll say join a meeting or sign in. Again, we don't need to do that. Let's just close all this out. Move it to trash. And I'm just going to go back to my email and just click on that link again. You'll notice it now prompts you, says, do you want it to use Zoom? Open Zoom. Yeah. It's going to automatically connect and then ask me, do I want to join with my computer audio? Which I do. Normally I would. You see, I can already see my hosting screen, which is side profile here. But I can also test my speaker and microphone if I'm not sure it's working. But I'm just going to go ahead and join with computer audio. Notice there is a checkbox down here at the bottom that says automatically kind of remember these settings, join this way in the future. We'll just go ahead and choose that. Now, I started out muted, and that's because when I set up the presentation screen, I was muted. Same thing, my video is off. If I click start video, now you see my front and my side. So you can see I'm working on two different screens here. Just so this is a little less annoying, let's turn off the presentation video. There we go. So we can actually see each other. So the setup is actually pretty much the exact same. Okay, so you have a mute, unmute button here. You can go up to the top where you see your video and you can unmute or mute yourself. You've got the video, just turn on and off your webcam. Invite participants, invite people to the meeting. Who's actually in the meeting, you can actually see who's there. You can raise your hand if you want. I'm going to click on that again to get rid of those windows. I can share my screen. You notice I got a lot of different options here. This is my whole desktop. This is just my Safari window that's open. I can share basic things. I can chat, which is my chat box. I can record this session, which by default they should be recorded anyways. Your instructor should do that, so you don't really need to worry about that. And then I can do reaction, so I can give like a thumbs up. And the video, my video just has a thumbs up in it. My instructor sees the thumbs up. That's pretty much it. That's all it does really, is it just puts those icons, and I can change it from clapping hands to thumbs up. Okay, that's it. You got leave meeting here, and you have a gallery view, which just turns off the presentation kind of and puts everything in a grid. So it's going to make a grid, so less focused on the presentation, more focused on the people. That's pretty much it. I mean, that's all there is to Zoom. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully you are not scared to try Zoom. It's pretty user-friendly once you get in there. Once you're done, you just leave the meeting. Nothing really to it. You should now know how to use Zoom on all of your devices. So if you get a meeting invite, you can feel free to join it and check it out. Thanks.